hello, everyone. Hello. Thought I had my mug up. So I'm gonna do a recap of today, and we had an amazing week again. So man, this strategy just keeps working over and over and over. It's just too easy. It's simple. There are days that we miss, like this morning I missed. I'll show you first trade. I could have actually had profit on the two trades that I lost money on, but I just didn't read the rest of the market properly, and I didn't get out quick enough. But with that said, I mean, I could have made profit. I did take a loss. I took two losses on the same stock. So the only losses I had today was trading Meta, which in reality I should have easily been able to make a lot of money on Meta. But I was in other stocks. I did end up profiting 2087, I believe, possibly, well, deduct maybe 100 and maybe 100 to 150 of that for commission. So anyhow, I got into this trade right here. First thing, I was watching what these candles were doing off of the LRC, and I really liked how we had a wick up here, a strong wick up here, a strong wick here. I told the guys, hey, I'm getting in. This is a breakout move. I mean, some people can follow me if they want to on breakout moves, but it's not something I really recommend. I go for them, and sometimes I take losses. So I got in here. I went up. I was up about $300 to $400, maybe a touch more up here. I held. I actually took some off, but I held, and I got this pullback on this candle, and I really thought I was going to get a push and a move up. Well, the signs that were right in front of me was my one. I had my yellow LRC, right, and it wicked off of that. That's the first sign. Like, don't fight it, right? But see this yellow line right here, this solid yellow line? That's my long LRC. They were both right there. And when this wicked down, I should have hopped right here. I may have been up, who knows, a couple $100, right? But I held, and I ended up losing $291. So I could have, it was right around $300 loss on this trade. By the time I got out, I was at a loss. So then when this candle came down, I decided to get into a put. I figured, okay, this was big enough for me to think, okay, this is going to go and push through the 200. This is just poor trading on my part. I should not have done it. And these are the things as traders, sometimes you don't see the forest for the trees when you're in the trades. But, I should have recognized it. I should have waited for this close below my red LRC and then red below. That's my strategy. That's what I'm supposed to trade. That's how I'm supposed to trade it. If you're new to my video and this strategy, I call it the LRC. It's an anchored LRC strategy. I should have started out with that. Anchored LRC strategy. So it anchors at specific locations pre-market, and it gives us phenomenal entries, exits, and target levels. So the yellow is my 2 deviation, red is my 1 deviation, and cyan is my mean or the midline. The way I trade this, and the way you should trade this if you're attempting to, is you have the 200. I use the 20 and the 200 for confirmation of direction. And so that I don't like trading into the 200 at all, but the best way to trade this would be right here. This is your perfect setup. Or also right here. So you come down below, then you take, once you're below the 20, the 200, and the LRC, and you close below, you take this candle right here, the move. You trade it down. I always scale out almost all of my profit at my yellow LRCs because they become support and resistance levels. If you happen to scale out and then it goes and continues, good, just hold the runner. If it starts doing this, get out and wait for another setup, which would have happened right here. You get a pullback, you get this candle, this would be your next entry. You trade down, and look what it stopped on. My long LRC, absolutely right on the money. Yeah, this is a long LRC that I've set for it's probably several weeks back. I use the same deviations. I add zero point 0.5 and 1.5. If you don't know how I set it up, I do have a video that's called how I set up or how I set up the long LRC. Um, and it's critical for me trading every day now. It gives me amazing levels to trade to. Just like that to know, okay, that's the end of the trade. It's stopping on that level. It stopped here, went up. It had some struggle, finally made it above, but it stayed at this long LRC and the yellow LRC most of the day once it got this big move. But so anyway, I will I will possibly make a new video. Maybe it'll be a little bit better than my first one on how I set it up, how I adjust it, and how I use it to trade intraday. But if you were to look at this, this is a 2-minute chart. This is coming down. You get in on this candle, you trade, you scale out at the yellow, you get continuation. You scale out or take all profit at the long LRCs. The long LRCs are pretty big levels. I mean, that's the distance between the two. So because they're so far back. Next area you could have entered is right here is perfect. You get this push up above the 200 and the 20. You enter right here and hold. I would have held this until I got up to here and probably taken all profit once again at this level, or at least scaled out all but one and then held and to see what would happen, and most likely would have got all out on this red candle right here. So anyhow, I ended up getting in Meta here. I took another loss on Meta, which was a $130 loss because it started to go back up right off this long LRC. I got out on this move up, which it was a 130 loss. That's part of what makes this strategy so incredible compared to all other strategies that I've used. It's the fact that you have a very, very good risk to reward. If you manage it properly, you do have losses. Like that's $400 worth of losses for me. However, I did also get into a QQQ trade, which was a really good trade. And in that trade, I made $468 on that trade. Where is my Qs? This was a great trade. Yeah, it was my put trade right here. It honestly set up absolutely beautiful. I didn't get in that heavy, but I took the trade and I traded from this point down. I think I may have got out here because I didn't trust the actual I just didn't trust the price action in the market today. Oh, excuse me. So I can't remember when I got out on this. I try to remember, exactly when I get in and out, but anyhow, I got in perfect setup. You're going back and forth through the 481.50, hop into the trade here, came down, I scaled out some. I I may have taken all profit off like right on this red candle push up, but I made $468. It was a really good trade. It worked out beautifully. And then I got into an excellent SPX, several SPX trades. That's what made up the $2,000. I had a $900 SPX trade. I had a $660. That one should have been 1,100, but I was trying to get more. That was at the end of the day, and It was kind of a YOLO, just kind of went for it. It was still based off of levels. It was based off of action. It was just end of day, so you never know what you're gonna get. Um, but it was actually, I wouldn't say it was a bad trade because it was based off of levels. You just have to be prepared to just get out if it doesn't go. I actually held it more and I was a little nervous. I was like sitting there begging it, will you please come on, get over the level, get over, and it finally squeezed and then it went. So got what I wanted. I'll show you that one in a second. But my $920 trade was this trade right here. I got this push up over the 566. I watched what this candle did, and then I got another candle up. That was my confirmation. I got in heavy, and what's interesting with this trade is I got out like all of it. I sold. As soon as it came back down and I got this candle moving up, I'm sorry, it was this candle. I bought in here and I sold again there. And I think the combination of those two, it was like $920. So I mean, it moved really well for me. Um, Another great area, and this was trading a big gap, 20 to 200. I typically don't like trading into the 200 unless there's a big gap, guys. If you start getting narrow, you have to be careful because that's when you'll get this. You trade into it, bam, it slaps you down. You trade into it, bam, slaps you down. So this was quite a distance from the 200, so I went for that trade. Um, I also had a $340 SPX and a $120. They're basically just really scalping in certain areas. I think my $120 was literally right here. I got in, or no, I think this was my 340. I got in, it went down, it blasted through this. I just sold. I got the 340, so that was quick and easy. Um, and then I also got another really, I think it was earlier on in the day, my 120. I got in like here and I know it was more of a choppy area, but when I got in, it just happened to be a choppy area. So I ended up with $120, but I will go through and show you like how you trade this system and how you can easily make $1,000 a day, 500 a day, depending on the size of your account. And the really beautiful thing about this strategy is you can use, if you have a big count, you can make a ton of money. If you have a medium count, you can make a decent amount and just build your count. That's what I'm doing. Every week, my goal has been to make 5,000 a week, 1,000 a day. In the last few weeks, I've made a good bit more than that per week. And I'm actually at the point, every time I gain 10,000, I transfer money out of my account. I'm already at the point of transferring again. And this isn't to brag, it's to explain that this strategy is working. I'm growing an account, I'm building it bigger and bigger. We have guys in the Discord that started with $500 accounts. They're now at 700 and they've only been trading for a few weeks. That's incredible. Um, there's there's guys that are all in between. We have guys that are just incredible scalpers using this strategy with they use other indicators. I'll do a shout out tonight. Hopefully he sees this. Great scalper, man. The guy, he comes in, he uses the levels, he uses LRC. He also uses a few other indicators that he likes to use in conjunction with the LRC, and he will scalp SPX and make he makes a lot of money doing it. So it's incredible. It's awesome to see. It's fun. It's a great community. If you guys are interested in being in a community that trades together, helps each other, we live trade. We put out tons of information to help. They're still actually in the Discord right now discussing different strategies and ideas and concepts. So it's really awesome. If you're interested, there will be a link in the description if you want to come and join us. But back to trading. So looking at this chart, this is SPY. So if you're trading the LRC strategy, you see you've got the wick right off the red, right? So that's kind of giving you a heads up. Okay, the 200, the red LRC, it pushes, it goes up, gets slapped. Next candle's red, next candle's red, get a big candle down. Hate those, but I love those, right? So you know, okay, the weakness is coming in. You want to get a close below the red, which would have been right here, but you don't enter until you get a clearing of that close, which would have been this candle right here. So you get in on this candle, not a close. I don't trade a close below. You could be more conservative and wait for a close. Sometimes you just miss really good runs. So that's a decision you have to make on your own. I go for the move past the close of that candle, which would have been this candle right here, because you didn't get a move past it until right here. And then you hop in, and I know this is close, but I respect the LRC so much. I scale out no matter what when I hit my yellows. Um, the only time I would not scale out is if this thing just blew through it so fast that I didn't have to worry about it. But when it does, I then still scale out at the bottom of that push, because you never know when you're going to get a fake move and a push back over. So best way to trade, you scale out, you get this push, you scale out, you get a couple candles up. You have your 20 EMA as your guide. If you use that as your guide, you can profit a lot more. Depends on your risk to reward. Depends on how extended the 20 is from price. If you have price like this coming back really close to the 20, use the 20 as your guide, re-enter, add right here. If you held, add on this candle. You have a red, add on your second red cross from your close, and then hold. Then you trade to the 566, which this is a support resistance level. I draw these manually every day. I give them to the group every single morning so that they can put them on their charts, and they know what levels that I'm targeting as support resistance levels in conjunction with the long LRC. So you trade to that level. I would exit all on that level personally, because I know it's a big level. You can see it matters right here. It came down, had some gave a little fuss, came back, retested. But you take all profit here, and then you just wait and see what happens. So it comes back up, gets above the 20, gets above the yellow LRC. You're getting these wicks down, so you have to pay attention to price action. Oh, by the way, I only trade this strategy on the 2-minute. You could trade it on the 4, the 1, whatever you feel, but I like the confirmations of the 2-minute candles best. Right here could have been a possible re-entry right there. And this one may have faked you out, and you could have at least either ended with a loss or recognized, okay, well, wait a minute, this came down, pushed back up. You didn't get any follow through. If you held this, you may have FOMO'd out right here and taken a loss. It's very possible. The good thing is your risk to reward is right there. If it doesn't go, just hop out. If you don't get the move, get out of the trade. So let's say that happened. You're here again. You're below the 200. So you don't get in here, right? You also see the selling pressure come back down again from the red LRC. Comes down, closes below the 20 right here. I would have got in on this candle. I may have exited here. It could have been a loss. However, typically when I see this happening, like where these are getting pushed down from the red, I would have probably given this the red LRC as my exit. Again, that's your different risk to reward. I would have probably held this, and it would have been another really good trade right to here. So there are times when you will get faked out with every single strategy, but this strategy by far is the best in my opinion. One thing you can look at, and we've been trading this day in and day out, um, it's really been amazing. So the yellow LRC. Oh, and if you want this indicator, I have it in my Discord. If you are interested, just come on in, and they're all free. But if you want, and it's also on the Use Think Script forum as well. But pay attention to what happens here. This is what we've been noticing. Look at all this consolidation on the, so you had this big move up. It stopped at the yellow. You had wicks up, stopping right here, right here, right here. What we do is we just wait. Whoops, bad drawing again. Gosh, I can't control it. We wait for a cross of this level right here. Let me just draw a straight line. There we go. We watch this, and then as soon as we get this cross, we get in. And I actually got in on, I think this is where I made, I can't remember where, this may have been where I made the 920 actually. Got in, held. Could have made like 1300. Yep, this is exactly where I got in. I got in right here on this push, held above the 200, held through all this. I did scale out and had this pullback here. I just held this. I held all my remaining, and I believe I exited like right here on this red candle. I exited at a perfect timing, um, which was this candle. I remember because I got close to, I'm on the wrong drawing tool. I got close to my long LRC, and once I got this candle here, that's when I exited. I remember telling the group, "Whoo, that was good timing," because then I got this big drop. And you know, when you're trading SPX, it doesn't take much of a drop like that to just take away and wipe out most of your profit. So anyhow, that's how you trade this. It's very, very simple. Of course, there's a lot more that goes into trading. I use multiple indicators and guides. I watch ES, Apple, Qs, NASDAQ. I watch what they're doing along with my grids. I trade with grids. Let me show you what the grids look like. The grids I use are basically showing my LRCs. It's in the day, so they're going to be at the end of it, but I'll scroll back. So like say TSM, I can look up at my grid at any moment and notice when price is rejecting or pushing off of one of the LRCs and it comes down, and then you'd be able to enter. So I can see the setups happening at real time. Um, don't need scanners or anything like that. It's better. I would rather just look up and see, because look, you have to realize I also have like right here, you see this purple line? That's the 50 daily SMAs. I have daily SMAs on all my charts. The 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200. That is the daily SMA, not an MA. Very, very important. And so that's how I have two sets of grids, 24 total charts, 12 on each, that I focus on and I watch during the day, and that's what helps give me um, my confirmation as when to enter different stocks, or even SPY, Nasdaq, all of them. So I watch all of it, and I also use them as a guide for me to um, I also use it as a guide to help me stay in trades or to exit trades. So for instance, if I'm in a trade, let's say I'm in an SPX trade, and then I look up and I see that Microsoft and Google are approaching or rejecting a major level, as well as Meta, and then maybe Apple starts to go down, and then and I start seeing all of these stocks starting to go red and putting in red candles and rejecting. And then I notice, if SPY starts to do the same or is actually getting close to a level, that's my exit. I just get out because I'm not going. Now, sometimes I get faked out, sure, but I'm actually locking away profit, and I don't have to worry about a big rejection and then taking a loss. So I hope this was helpful. I'll continue to put out the videos on how I trade, And I will, if anyone has any questions or needs any help with this strategy, come and ask. You can join in the Discord. I do have a paid membership. That is where I do the live trading every day. If you want to be a part of that community, or I have a non-member uh, area where you can come in, collaborate, ask questions. Um, so we'd love to have you in there. If you're interested, just send me a DM, ask me. I will never DM you. I will never friend request you. I will never accept a friend request. I will answer DMs. I will not sell you anything. I do not sell training courses. I do that for free. I do not sell indicators. I do not try to get you to use brokerage accounts. These people will scam you. They're very good at what they do. Don't trust them. Don't believe them. If anyone's asking for you to give them anything, guys, for help, run the other way. If you want help and you seek someone's professional help, then you know what you're getting into. But if someone solicits you, no matter who it is, and says, "Hey, this is metal," or "Hey, this is this trader that's out there trading. I have some a training course. If you're interested, I can help you out." Don't be dumb is all I can say, guys. Don't be stupid. Nobody's going to do that unless it's a fraud. If you want help, go somewhere and pay for the help and know what you're paying for. If you want free help, I can help you, and there's a lot of people out there that help every day. There's tons of videos, tons of stuff to get information for help. So anyhow, if you're interested, sorry about that rant, but we have had just tons of scammers, and it's ridiculous. Um, but if you would like any more information about this strategy, just let me know. If you have any questions or comments about the video, please leave them in the comments, and please hit that like button. It helps. I don't get many, but please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. And I will see you on the next video. And God bless.